Hello friends. Example number 2. What is the shape of the wavefront in each of the following cases? A. Light diverging from a point source. B. Light emerging out of a convex lens when a point source is placed at its focus. C. The portion of the wavefront of light from a distant star intercepted by the earth. So here for first case 1a, light diverging from a point source. So here this is the point source and these are the light diverging from the point source. As we connect the different points, so we get a wavefront like this. So we know here the shape of the wavefront is spherical. So the answer is spherical wavefront, right? So the light diverging from a point source, we can see that here the shape of the wavefront is spherical, right? So the answer is spherical wavefront. Now for B, light emerging out of a convex lens when a point source is placed at its focus. So here this is the convex lens. Here suppose this is the source, right? Point source at its focus. Now the different ray from the focus is like this, right? Now we know that after refraction the ray are passed like this, right? So if we connect these different points, so we can see like this. So this wavefront is plane wavefront, right? So we can able to see a plane wavefront, right? So here the wavefront shape is plane, so plane wavefront, right? Now for C, the portion of the wavefront of light from a distant star intercepted by the earth. So here in this case the wavefront emit from a distant star. So here the distance is very large, and yesterday we already discussed that if the distance is very large, so we can able to see a plane wavefront, right? So here the answer is plane wavefront, right? Okay, so this is the very easy example. We have to answer the type of wavefront, either spherical or plane, right? Okay, now we move forward to our next example. Example number 3. A. The refractive index of glass is 1.5. Then what is the speed of light in glass? The speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And B is the speed of light in glass independent of the color of light? If not, so which of the two color, red and violet, travels slower in a glass prism, right? So first of all, for A, real, the refractive index of glass is 1.5. so here n is equals to 1.5. What is the speed of light in glass? So we have to find out speed, velocity v. The speed of light in vacuum, so we denoted speed of light in vacuum by c, which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So here we have to find out the velocity of light in glass. Now we already discussed this type of question in ray optics, right? We know the formula, n is equals to c by v, right? So n is equals to c by v. We know that c, speed of light in vacuum, upon velocity v, speed of light in given medium, right? Here the medium is glass, right? So we know the formula, n is equals to c by v. We have to find out v, so here we formulate v. V is equals to c upon n. So v is equals to value of c 3 into 10 raised to 8, value of n 1.5, so we get 2 into 10 raised to 8, right, meter per second. So we can say that speed of light in glass is equals to 2 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, right? So this is very easy example. We have to find out the speed of light in glass. So we know the formula, n is equals to c by v. Then we formulate v, so v is equals to c by n. After putting the value of c and n, we get v is equals to 2 into 10 raised to 8. So speed of light in glass is equals to 2 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now for B. Now B. Is the speed of light in glass independent of the color of light? If not, which of the two color, red and violet, travels slower in a glass prism? So friends, we already studied about prism in our chapter number 9, ray optics, and we know that the speed of light in glass prism is not independent of its color, right? And we know that the blue light travels slower than the red light, so we can say that the speed of the red light is higher, right? So we know that speed of light in glass prism is not independent of its color, right? And we also know that the blue light travels slower than red light, right, in any medium, right? Here we know the medium is glass, right? Okay, so we already discussed these things in our chapter number 9, right? So we already know that the speed of light in glass prism is not independent of its color, and we also know that the blue light travels slower than red light in any medium. Here the medium is glass, right? Now, Huygens principle. Now, friends, આપણે કાલે જોયું હતું કે જ્યારે પાણી સ્ટેશનરી કન્ડિશનમાં હોય અને જ્યારે આપણે એ પાણીમાં કોઈ પથ્થર નાખીએ ત્યારે આપણને સ્ફેરિકલ ટાઈપના વેવફ્રન્ટ દેખાય છે, રાઈટ? અને એ વેવફ્રન્ટ જો આપણે જોયા હતા, આ રીતની કન્ડિશન હતી કે સપોઝ તમે આ જગ્યાએ કોઈ સ્ટોન થ્રો કરો છો, પથ્થર નાખો છો, તો આ રીતના આપણને સ્ફેરિકલ વેવફ્રન્ટ મળ્યા હતા, રાઈટ? આ રીતના, રાઈટ? નાઉ આપણે ગઈકાલે એ પણ ડિસ્કસ કર્યું હતું કે આ જેટલા પણ વેવફ્રન્ટના જેટલા પણ પોઈન્ટ્સ છે એ બધા પોઈન્ટ્સનું જે પણ સોર્સ છે એ સોર્સથી ડિસ્ટન્સ કેવું હશે? એક સરખું ડિસ્ટન્સ હશે, અને એ વેવફ્રન્ટની ડાયરેક્શન જે છે એ આ રીતની છે, તો આને આપણે શું કહીએ છીએ? રે, રાઈટ? તો આ બધું આપણે યસ્ટરડે ડિસ્કસ કર્યું હતું, રાઈટ? હવે આજે આપણે વાત કરીશું હાઇગન્સ પ્રિન્સિપલની. હાઇગન્સનો પ્રિન્સિપલ આવું કંઈક છે કે સપોઝ આ કોઈ એક સ્ફેરિકલ વેવફ્રન્ટ છે ને આ વેવફ્રન્ટ પર આપણે પાર્ટિકલ એઝ્યુમ કરીએ કે આ સપોઝ ફર્સ્ટ પાર્ટિકલ એ, આ સેકન્ડ પાર્ટિકલ અહીં કંઈક બી, અને અહીંયા થર્ડ પાર્ટિકલ સી. ઓકે, હવે એઝ પર હાઇગન્સ પ્રિન્સિપલ, હવે હાઇગન્સ એવું કહે છે કે આ જે પણ પોઈન્ટ છે સ્ફેરિકલ વેવફ્રન્ટ પરનો, all these points, or we can say particle, are behave as a independent secondary source and emit by itself, right? Secondary spherical waves. એટલે કે આ જે અહીંયા આગળ પાર્ટિકલ છે એ પાર્ટિકલ એક ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ સેકન્ડરી સોર્સ તરીકે એક્ટ કરશે અને બીજા વેવ એમિટ કરશે. એટલે કે સપોઝ આ જગ્યાએ આ જે કણ એ છે એ કણ સેકન્ડરી ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ સોર્સ રીતે એક્ટ કરે છે, બિહેવ કરે છે અને આપણને આ રીતનો કોઈ એક વેવફ્રન્ટ આપે છે. આમ સેમ આ જે બીજો પાર્ટિકલ બી છે એ પણ એક્ટ એઝ એન સેકન્ડરી source and it gives a wave like this. Same C આ રીતના સેકન્ડરી સોર્સ તરીકે એક્ટ કરશે, આ રીતના વેવ એમિટ કરશે. હવે આ જે પાર્ટિકલ છે, સપોઝ આ પાર્ટિકલ, આ પાર્ટિકલ, આ પાર્ટિકલ, તો જે સપોઝ આને હું કહી દઉં એ છે, તો આ એ ડેશ, બી ડેશ અને સી ડેશ. હવે જ્યારે આપણે આ પાર્ટિકલને કનેક્ટ કરીએ, આ રીતના આપણે કનેક્ટ કરીએ, તો આ જે પાર્ટિકલ છે એ પાર્ટિકલ આપણને એક બીજો વેવફ્રન્ટ આપે છે, રાઈટ? તો આ શું છે? હાઇગન્સ પ્રિન્સિપલ. સો ધ પ્રિન્સિપલ ઇઝ લાઈક ધીસ: every point or a particle of a wavefront like this A, B or C behave as an independent secondary source. So here this behaves as a secondary source, emits by itself a secondary spherical waves. You can see that here emits a spherical waves. After very small time interval, the surface tangential to all such a secondary spherical wavelengths, these are the wavelets, gives a shape of the new wavefront like this, right? So this is the basic principle of the Huygens. So we can write that. So every point or particle of a wavefront behaves as an independent secondary source and emits by itself a secondary spherical waves, right? Here you can see that the every point of this wavefront behaves as an independent secondary source and emits a spherical wave. You can see that after a very small time interval, the surface tangential to all such a secondary spherical wavelets. You can see that after some time interval, here we draw a tangent to a wavelets and which gives a secondary wavefront. We can say E1, E2, right? Now, suppose here D1, D2 represent a part of spherical wavefront at time t is equals to 0, right? Now here d1 d2, which is the wave propagating outwards, we can see that, right? Now suppose we assume that here the velocity of the wave is v, right? Like this. Here the velocity of this wave is v, right? Then suppose we consider the time is equals to tau. Now we know that velocity is equals to distance by time, here time tau. So here the distance covered is equals d is equals to v into tau, right? So we can say that here the velocity of the wave is v and the time is tau. So we know that velocity is equals to distance d upon time tau. So distance covered d is equals to v into tau. So we can say that here the velocity of wave is v, then the distance covered in time tau is v into tau, right? Now to determine the shape of wavefront at time t is equals to tau, we draw a sphere of radius v tau. You can see that here we draw a sphere of radius v tau from each point on the spherical wavefront, right? Here the distance is v into tau. So here at distance v into tau we draw a sphere. You can see from B, then from C. Now if we draw a common tangent, then we get a wavefront, our new wavefront E1, E2, right? So I repeat once again. Suppose here the velocity is v time tau, so velocity is equals to distance by time tau. So here the distance is v into tau. તો હવે આ જે આપણો પહેલો વેવફ્રન્ટ છે એટ ટાઈમ t ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ 0, આ d1 d2 વેવફ્રન્ટ, આના પરના જે પોઈન્ટ પાર્ટિકલ a b c છે એ એક્ટ કરશે એઝ અ સેકન્ડરી સોર્સ, રાઈટ? અને આ જે પોઈન્ટ પરના પાર્ટિકલ છે એ પાર્ટિકલ ડિસ્ટન્સ કવર કરશે v tau જેટલું, એટલે આપણે v tau જેટલી રેડિયસ પર આ રીતના સ્ફિયર ડ્રો કરીએ છીએ. અને આ જે સ્ફિયર ડ્રો કર્યા એ સ્ફિયરમાંથી આપણે આ રીતના એક કોમન ટેન્જન્ટ દોરી, ત્યારે જે આપણને E1 E2 મળશે એ જ આપણો ન્યૂ વેવ ફ્રન્ટ હશે, રાઈટ? સો વી કેન રાઇટ ધેટ. સપોઝ ધેટ D1 D2 represent a part of spherical wavefront at t is equals to 0, which is the wave propagating outwards. Here the velocity of wave is v, then the distance covered in time tau is v into tau. To determine the shape of wavefront at time t is equals to tau, we draw the spheres of radius v tau from each point on the spherical wavefront, and we draw a common tangent which gives a new wavefront E1 E2, right? This is our new wavefront E1 E2. Now we discuss the same thing for the plane wavefront, right? So Now we know that this is the plane wavefront. Now here we assume some particle. Suppose this is particle A, B and C. This wavefront is D1, D2, right? Now here once again the speed of the particle is v, the time is tau. So once again velocity v is equals to distance by time tau. So the distance is v into tau. तो ફરી એકવાર એઝ પર ધી હાઇગન્સ પ્રિન્સિપલ, આ જે પ્લેન વેવફ્રન્ટ પરના પાર્ટિકલ્સ છે એ બી અને સી, આ પાર્ટિકલ્સ ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ સેકન્ડરી સોર્સની રીતે એક્ટ કરશે અને એ બીજા જે વેવ્સ છે એ વેવ્સ એમિટ કરશે, રાઈટ. હવે એ જે વેવ્સ છે એ વેવ્સની રેડિયસ કેટલી હશે? તો ધ ડિસ્ટન્સ ઇઝ વી ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ. તો વન્સ અગેન આપણે આ જે વી ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ છે એ વી ટાઉ જેટલી રેડિયસના વેવ્સ ડ્રો કરીશું. તો સપોઝ આ વી ઇન્ટુ ટાઉની રેડિયસનો આ એક વેવ ફ્રોમ બી, આ એક વેવ ફ્રોમ સી, આ એક વેવ. તો આ જે બધા વેવ આપણે ડ્રો કર્યા વીટાઉ જેટલી રેડિયસના, આના પરથી જ્યારે આપણે ટેન્જન્ટ ડ્રો કરીએ તો આ રીતની આપણને બીજો એક પ્લેન વેવફ્રન્ટ મળશે જેને આપણે કહીશું E1 E2, રાઈટ. સો આઈ રિપીટ વન્સ અગેન, here this is the plane wavefront. A, B, C are the particles of this plane wavefront. Now we have to draw a spheres of radius v tau. So here we draw a sphere of radius v tau. Now we draw a tangent from this, so we get our new wavefront E1 E2, right. We denoted this point by A1, this is B1, this is C1, right. Now here this is A1, B1, C1. These lines are the perpendicular to the both wavefront D1 D2 and E1 E2. So here these lines are perpendicular to the wavefront, so we can say that these lines are known as the light ray, right. So we discuss all these things for the plane wavefront, right. So we can say that here lines A1, B1 and C1 are perpendicular to the both wavefront D1 D2 and E1 E2, which are known as a light ray, right. Because we already discussed that the line perpendicular to the wavefront and indicating the direction of propagation of wave is called ray, right. Yesterday we discussed that. I repeat once again, line perpendicular to the wavefront and indicating the direction of propagation of wave is called a ray, right. So this is the Huygens principle for the spherical wavefront and the plane wavefront. Now you have to remember these things. The limitation of the Huygens principle is the amplitude of secondary wavelets is maximum in the forward direction and zero in the backward direction. I repeat once again, the amplitude of secondary wavelets is maximum in forward direction and zero in backward direction, right. So we cannot draw the wavefront on the backward direction, right, as per the limitation of the Huygens principle. So the limitation is the amplitude of secondary wavelets is maximum in the forward direction and zero in the backward direction, right? You have to remember this thing. I repeat once again, the amplitude of the secondary wavelets is maximum in the forward direction and zero in the backward direction. So here the Huygens could not explain why the wave was not propagating backwards, right? I repeat once again. So here Huygens could not explain why the wavefronts not propagating backwards, right? Okay, thank you.